All right, Nate, let's see if we can take a quick look at Facebook, Meta, and Roku real quick. This is the daily chart here, of course, and we have that big gap down. And at some point, Phil will close that gap up. But in the meantime, we got to see where the potential bottom on this thing is. So it's kind of hard to see that on the daily. So we're going to go over here to the weekly. And from our extreme low back in March of 20 to the most recent highs, we pop our fib line. Then we have the 0.618 right down here, about 203, and the markets love those whole round even numbers. So I believe we'll come down to at least 200, probably even hit 190 something. In the meantime, I'm looking across to see, we might have found one, a little high pivot here that was previous resistance and could be support near term when we hit it. And as you can see, that lines up right with that oil, not perfectly, but pretty close to that 0.618 golden retracement of our fib line there. Plus, we're on a time count. So this could be actually sometime next week. We could possibly hit that area. I'm seeing if there's anything else over here. And then as we come down, I got another pivot location there, about 195. But as well. So I believe that'll be a pretty good target area. To get some sort of a bounce here, maybe back up to the 200 at least. From that area. Let's take a look at Roku. Let's go to the daily first. Yeah, a big gap down, but it looks like it's holding today. Yeah, there we go on the earnings from yesterday. And I'd already popped a fib line here, but we blew right through it. So the next area, let's go to our weekly and see if we can catch any sort of. Yeah, I'm looking now at possibly this low pivot here. And then the point, well, look, yeah, we've already hit it, it looks like, or came close to it. That 0.786, about 91.80, which means I'll probably take it to 90 if we don't, bounce here. And then also, you can see this down price channel, which is sometimes could be a bull flag. And see, we broke out up to the upside, and then when you have the opposite as you're moving up price channel, a lot of times I can break down to a bull flag. I mean a bear flag. Come in as a bear flag, which it did because we lost it, and then we've come down here. But that's a pretty big, oversold area here. And as you can see on the RSI, relative strength index, we're well below the 30 line, which means we're in extreme oversold area. So we could get a bounce here pretty quick, and then especially if you come down and hit that point 786 at 91.80, low 90 area, that'd be the next suspected bounce zone. I'm just looking over here to see if there's any correlation of low pivot, high pivot, because when, bottom line, doesn't matter what the stock is, crypto or whatever, when it starts dropping, nobody really knows where it's going to land. But the obvious, not obvious, but where it will hit and bounce 10 times out of 10 is a high or low pivot region. In other words, any time where there was a high pivot, meaning resistance, sometimes it'll form support on the way down, or a low pivot where it's where we look at right now, that was previous support, and that could also be current support as well. And then also your moving averages. So that's really all we can do is just scan down the chart and look for those high and low pivots. This was going to be probably an obvious one here, because all that was resistance even in this area until they came in and bought it up. blew us back up and over at 0.618 fib. And, the rest is history. But we melted right through it. But if we can get a bounce here and get back over that 130, area, that should help, take it up to that 200, that purple line right there. So, that's what we're looking at now. And see where we can bounce. But, we have a big gap here to be filled at some point in time. They don't always have to be filled, but with stocks, it's high probability that they do. But okay, hang in there, and we will see you on the charts.